Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the VCT Gun Show. Ender pleasantly kicked it off for us, and I think, Lothar, you wanted to challenge him?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, do your thing. Oh, she actually did it. Salah, I know I'm not going to pressure you. You can't take off the hoodie, you know, you're contractually obligated to wear it. But if you did, though, if you could flex, you do better than Ender, right? For sure.
I'd hope so.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I believe in you. But let's talk about the game we just saw. I'm going to roll my sleeves down. You're going to put your jacket on?
Yeah, I'm putting my jacket on.
Let's talk about the game that we just saw, because for a while, it was pretty like, Liquid, they might close this out pretty easily. But after the tech pause, Salah, you spoke a little bit about it. There's two ways for BBL to take that. Either roll over or, you know, get hyped up and get back into the game. And they did do that.
In my experience, especially being like the coach of a Turkish team, the emotions are by far the most important thing in that team, in any Turkish team. And I think for them, it's always a two-way thing. It can either be very negative or extremely positive. When generally in that kind of culture, in, you know, Turkish culture and in that kind of team culture, when one guy is excited, everybody is excited, everybody is going, everybody is almost, you know, on the edge of their seats. If one guy is down, everyone is down. So I think obviously it had kind of an effect on them a little bit. I think as soon as, you know, they win the pistol, they get that momentum, that's when everyone kind of, you know...
woke up.
You know what's funny? I think exactly the same about three cultures in VALORANT, and maybe in Esports. That's Turkish scene, Spanish scene, and Polish scene. All of them share kind of the same passion, where you can see when the lineup is made from the same nationality there.
Yeah, and Kute, he was trying his best to get them back into that game, and my God, he really tried. But the issue is, despite him coming online and doing everything he was doing, Lothar, they just couldn't close it out. They had opportunities.
Well, they had opportunities, but I feel like something that failed is just trying to be mindful about nats, about the Cypher setups. And we have seen so far, by the way, Liquid, every single time they play on split, nats is always on A side. He literally never played on B side. And it seems like they kind of were ignoring that fact. Some of the dashes from Kushner on side were effective, were singling out nats, but then the trap still did the job against on the other teammates. And that's something that they failed again over and over, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have the Kute clips, but it doesn't matter, we can move on. I will say that when it comes to Kute and Safe as well, these two players are some of the best players in their role in this entire region. And Salah, they have to step up, they just don't have a choice.
Yeah, I think they're the prongs of their team. It's always going to be this way. I think both of the teams are going to play heavily around the players. They're going to be almost the difference makers every single time. So I think it's quite natural that when one's going, their team's going to go. If one's not going, their team's not going to go.
Why do you think that BBL weren't able to just actually close it out?
I think they didn't give themselves a big buffer with the defense. I think 3 rounds is not enough, and if you recall, I said it before the game that, you know, they've had these kinds of halves against other teams and then almost pulled it back on defense. So it was a very similar story to where it's been the whole season. I think they didn't give themselves a big enough buffer. If they had maybe got 1 or 2 more rounds, then we're talking about a possibility. I think also the rounds that they did lose were the rounds where they get stopped once, it was over almost. I think there's one round that I remember where they go very late, and in my opinion, when BBL do go late, it's when they suffer the most. They're generally going to be the best at going mid-game / early game. And the other rounds were, if they get stopped, if they don't get instantly into sight and instantly win the round, they're going to lose the round.
I mean, you look at these stats as well. Safe and Kute, they're literally toe-to-toe when it comes to, this is according to top 5 ACS, damage per round, and first blood percentage as well. But I also got to say, Lothar, for the rest of the team, it's not just about these guys. The rest of the team, they also had to step up. We were a little bit confused about BBL's comp change. But if you compare the way that Aslan normally plays Sage to the way that Soulcast normally plays Sage, there is a bit of a difference, and I think we even had a kind of a crazy Dom clip in this game as well.
Yeah, Dom actually did something that I really like when I see Sage doing, is that he clips like the amount of angles that can be that he can be exposed to when creating that wall. So he creates new angles on the map for himself, and in general he was doing that over and over again. But this wall is actually being done on A side by both players, but you can see that Soulcast leaves a gap on it, which he can safely run away from, while we have seen the BBL Sage unfortunately not do that, and she was stuck in that one moment. But this wall here on Haven, that's exactly what I mentioned here. He's like trying to make the angles positive for himself more.
Yeah, and these Salah are Aslan's wars as well, but maybe the stage wasn't kind of the difference maker when it came down to it, but there's a stylistic difference.
Of course, I think Aslan is generally going to be much more aggressive, just naturally. I think Sokas is a much more supportive player. I think he's going to generally do what is required of him within the structure. Aslan is almost like a off the leash, right? He's going to take random peaks. He's going to take the fights that he wants to take, and generally the walls are going to be much more in the moment. They're going to be less planned, and they're going to be less team-centric. I think, you see him just doing the very basic walls most of the time, but when he's doing that wall out of A main, it's a lot for him to be able to take fights and for him to be able to, just run around and do his thing.
It's funny because what you describe is something that I would consider on other maps that we have seen in the past, but on this particular split, he was way more reserved. He was actually, Sokas was the aggressive sage in many times because he was giving himself those angles that he could have peeked from.
Well, we're going to be moving on to Ascent. I feel like the map that shall not be named, especially when you go up against BBL. Lothar and Salah, I'm going to invite you to the telestrator and kind of set us up for what we can expect, because for me, I felt like Liquid, they should have banned it. I don't think we would have, we shouldn't be in this position right now. So what do you guys feel about this?
I think they wanted to give me a heart attack personally. I think it was something against
Salah, if I can have you stand on the left, that would be fantastic. We brought in here the Ascent from Team Liquid. So far have been played in the tournament, and I'm very, very happy, Salah, that I have you with me here because you will be able to bring a little bit of that coaching experience and tell the viewers maybe how would you approach this defense from Team Liquid as an attacker. So first, I'm gonna single out on this map how Safe moves in the first 10 seconds, and he is actually playing in the mid area a lot of times. So why is that?
Okay, so when you're playing Ascent, Jet is by far in the game right now the best open space anchor, which means she can anchor a wide amount of space by herself because of the ability to just get out at any moment, right? And the reason you'll see a Jet play in this area specifically is to keep the attackers honest, is to make sure that, she can basically solo pressure mid. She forces them to use smokes, she forces them to use util. If you do not respect the Jet being there, you'll get punished, basically, especially against a Jet like Safe, right? It's for respect. It's basic. You have to respect the Jet. You have to go through almost the protocols of forcing that Jet out every single round.
And do you think that is being changed even if Cypher has a trap in the mid? The screen dot is something that Nats puts up almost every round.
So that basically the reason the trap is going to be there regardless is, again, Safe wants to play these areas generally. He wants to force util to come out, and then he wants to rotate off and take the next fight wherever that he deems is going to be necessary. So that trap is there so that when he does move off, they don't need to worry about it, and they have the info if they're going to go deeper into market.
Okay, so now let's theorize. And what can BBL do to negate those first angles from the bottom mid for Safe and deny him the information, or and how can they approach this?
I think generally it's going to be the same as almost every other team playing Ascent, right? The reason you're going to smoke short first is to, when you're coming out of mid link, you want to come out of mid link because it's going to allow you to take mid quicker. It's going to allow you to take it with less util rather than coming out of top mid. So when they smoke short like this, they're most likely going to have to use drones. They're going to have to use, flashes to force him off this angle, and then the next angle is going to be pizza, and it's going to be inside market. Once they have got into this mid area, they want to force him off these angles, and again it's going to be a repeat process of smoke here and then force him off the next angle with flashes.
So you think it's still worth to smoking short more than smoking bottom mid more?
Yes, so the reason you want to smoke short if you're going to go up into market is because this is the first angle you're going to have to encounter from mid-link, and it's a very 50-50 angle, and it's a very, I think it almost defenders in most situations, so yeah, you have to smoke it if you're going to go into market. If you're going to go into short, then you smoke...
Awesome.
Well,
thank you very much, Salah.
Yeah, well, I'm not super concerned about what BBL know in terms of Liquid, what they do on Ascent. My problem is if Liquid can stop what BBL do on Ascent, because so far in this league, only Na'Vi have managed that. And may I remind you, every time the BBL have picked this map, it's been left open for them. It's been great for them. They've had a massive advantage. And going into agent select, I'm not super, Lothar, I'm not expecting them to change anything.
We're probably going to see a mirror comp as well. Apart from the Killjoy, of course, and Cypher, because Nats is the Cypher player that that's his signature, while BBL plays the cookie-cutter meta composition of Ascent that we have seen so many times, but it's so effective. Now, the difference between Nats and Aslan on those respective Sentinels will result also in easier retakes on the A side. Cypher is a little bit worse when it comes to retakes, but at least allows to substitute or compensate for loss of a smoker in the early stages of the game. But in general, I do favor the Killjoy on this map anyway.
I think what Cypher is going to do for Liquid is going to allow them to have much more pressure on attack. Generally speaking, Cypher is going to be very good at going into mid with the cages. So, for example, he'll be able to smoke close mid with the cages so they can smoke short at the same time. It's going to have a lot more ease going into B lobby to pressure B lobby by himself. Same with A lobby. I think it's going to give them much more attacking possibilities and allow him to play as that pin that they can activate at any time.
I mean, BBL had so many problems dealing with that Cypher on split. I don't know if they're going to be able to have any issues to deal with them here, but Ender and Dez, if there's any map BBL can come back into, it's this one.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. This time we are sans chair. You are back to your full height.
Sans chair, wow, very French of you.
Spent a lot of time in France, what can I say?
You don't pronounce the S. Anyways.
Second game. Shut up. Going into our second map then. Do you think BBL bounces back and brings us to the bind, or do you think it's done and dusted 2-0?
Oh, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. I think if there was ever a map for BBL to do it, it will be here, but it's going to come a lot down to the Jets. We've seen so many teams on Ascent, especially on the defensive side. Jets just gets to have a party. I think the desk was talking so much about how to shut down Team Liquid on the defense and Safe on the defense when he's looking for those off angles around mid. And that's definitely going to be challenging BBL once we get to around, round 4, round 5. So specifically when I'm looking at BBL, like winning this attacking pistol is really important. Delaying the potential op. If you can mess up the Team Liquid economy so they're not getting the op until round 5 perhaps. Or even just stealing all the rounds you can on attack.
It goes one of two ways for me. Either we see Cushion like on the last map getting into some really tricky positions for Liquid to deal with, or he's completely shut down by Safe on the op. We'll really have to see in a few rounds' time how that plays out, though. First and foremost, it is the pistol. We'll see what the plan is for BBL. For now, it looks to be an A main hit.
They sent so much scouting utility around mid. The dart from Sushni, the KO knife as well to hit market. And I don't think they saw anything. I don't think Soulcast was in market when that one hit. Now going to be walking to that wide angle that Safe is holding. Drone may not end up spotting this one out if it can be shot down. Should have seen that tripwire and can go back in to try and break it, but that won't be the case.
Oh no.
Brave's is getting spammed.
Oh, must have missed it completely. 2 quick kills coming out for Liquid too. Comfortable kills at that as well. Mercutian, he was trying to challenge up in towards heaven, but denied at the last second. Took a little shot on the way through. Red guarantee another, and this round is coming up all side of Team Liquid.
It's just a slaughter for the time being. At least they get the plant down. That gives them some options here. BBL have forced sometimes on the attacking side of this map after they get a plant, but the fact they only get 1 kill, the 200 extra, I don't know how well that's going to end up looking for them.
Trying to get those knives up maybe as fast as possible for Safe as well. Giving the orb over to his side. It was very comfortable, right? I think if they'd seen the tripwire earlier on, maybe there's a different conversation to be had there, but missing it out.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Fatal error.
They are going to be going for the force.
Okay.
And the last time they played this map, it was a similar story, losing the pistol and then looking for a force. They do a lot, or at least that series, they showed a lot of B splits, or just full-on market takes where they're trying to flood into the B side from that high ground. And they're going to be potentially trying something similar here as they do force in. It's even the Glass Guardian for Aslan to be the one to take the fights at range. He's playing tiles, so might end up looking for a little swing there.
And I think we saw it was Kiwi yesterday having an absolute day with the Guardian.
One thing to note, though, is that Safe did still go for a Marshal here when there's 4 players on the enemy team with light armor. So that is not a one-shot to the body. And that gun loses so much value when there's even light armor coming into play. So BBL in a good position when fighting up against Safe to try and return a kill.
That's why I was kind of spamming through the smoke, hoping to find something. Nothing yet given in BBL. Once again, playing out this slightly slower style of play. Respecting the longer angles, taking things step by step. But once again, it's this A main hit coming on through. Now, same trip is in place as last time round. Hopefully there's a read this time here. We'll know that there's 3 players pushing in. This might force BBL into moving a little bit quicker, at least you'd hope.
Well, it also delays
They
the
still
smokes
hold.
coming in so they can get their own counter smokes defensively. while the utility was not being able to be popped.
There it is.
Soulcast even gets the nade off in time, so now Kushner delayed from the rest of his team. There's another teleport in from Brave, though. That's huge as they try to get in, trading 1-for-1 for the time being. Now up in heaven is Kushner going absolutely crazy from behind the smoke. BBL is stealing this round.
Like I said, he can just be so chaotic at times, gets right up in your grill and makes you sweat a little bit. Kushner, really the controller of the map, it feels, for the most part. Nothing really that's to be done, and that force comes out huge.
That was just wild. The fragment goes down in time. I think TL did everything they could in terms of delaying the hit, but the fact that Kushner was dashing out. Kushner may have even, I didn't quite catch it, but Kushner may have thrown a smoke for Brave also to send the teleport into on the right side of the map. No, he just full on sent it with that one. Running and gunning, getting the kill through the smoke. And then it's the choice of Kushner to go up into heaven while Nats is down in hell. TL were not ready for that swing whatsoever.
That could yet be the story of this game.
I think I heard something about an updraft. I don't know.
Well, he did manage to put it off in the first round. He got stuck on the box, whereas that round definitely made it work. Redgar first to fall here, nice and early.
Going for a bit of a gamble play on that. If no one's there, maybe he's just trying to snatch up an orb or buy that one for Soulcast with a bit stronger of a ulti at play.
Too easy.
Yeah, BBL very, very ready for the pushes.
These next few rounds as things start to warm up. Obviously everything a bit out of whack and out of sync with how things are stacked up, but BBL the ones definitely with the firepower in this round. They have checked Twine at both times they've pushed up here so far. Is this the round they don't and they get punished? No, they still check it out and they do manage to get the shutdown they need.
Player standing.
Poor little Soulcast here. This TP into Dice is looking really effective for BBL a couple of times now, sort of both blitzing out on there. I think there's some things Team Liquid can try to do with darts through smokes they can play into, or even playing behind that box on the close right. We'll see how they adapt their hold on the side, because if they're just playing back Dice and keep getting teleported on like this, they just get pinched from right to left. The jet up drafts and all that, so they're going to switch things up, move over to the B site now. And there is an operator online for safe. This is where the game changes. They actually might be walking straight into his op. He's playing in B main here. Gonna have to get our eyes on that very quickly, because he's just gonna hard hold this angle.
But of course, with the Odin on side as well, we've seen this one far too many times. The blitz back and forth between both sides as both Sovers have it on side here. Yampi the first one to back away. And it's Safe who's lost a good chunk of his HP. The spray's still coming on through.
Oh yeah.
And Yampi now can no longer afford to play up.
Great counter spam, and here you have it working up through mid. Slightly off kilter tripwire. Oh no, the counter comes in at the last possible second. Still, there's so much chip damage down onto Brave, but with Kushner playing behind that tripwire into the site. He's just opened it up completely. Nats popping out from the smoke may have had a chance, but as soon as he falls, the round ends for Team Liquid.
Yeah, BBL just running away with things at the start of the series. Very much the inverse of what we saw on Split. It was TL who started out super strong. Either way, attackers are having the run of things today so far. Going to completely concede the other side of the map here, hold to the two rifles they've got on side, because this next round is going to hurt for Team Liquid.
Worst part is, no chance of getting that op back.
Nope, it's
gone. That's
gone.
the big swing there. So, Redgar will find the one. Doesn't matter too much at the end of the day.
Guardian down, when you got 5.5 in the bank.
Yeah, you're going to be making the upgrades no matter what.
You are not fussed.
But there we saw with the early utility used, I think it was just the knife was enough. Maybe there was a drone involved at the start as well, but the knife from Turco that forces Safe off the angle without the dash. He doesn't really want to play up there. And then there's also the counter spam. I think Sushni having this Odin on attack made the setup that Yampi was going for really tough, because realistically there, Yampi has the spam a little bit early on, but can also just go for the spray down the second Safe runs into any sort of contact. Then it's really hard to sort of dash on that jet, chase her down, punish her for having the operator.
Had the choice to take the op, but opted not to, even with the knives up as well. Kushner dropping it away later in the round.
There's the knife that ends up catching with the, even though the dart is supposed to come in on the opposite side, those players are running back to the hills. And then Kushner with that work up through mid. This is something that is definitely in BBL's playbook.
Oh, here we go.
They love to work up there.
I mean, they know they're coming out here with a lot of the gun advantage, and they're going to push that one to the absolute max. No Odin to return fire on the other side, but you know they can make this work. Two players still looking in towards mid as well, expecting a flank to come in, and it's a good idea, as we do have both Nats and Redgar looking to push their way forward here and try and contest once the things really start to heat up over towards site itself.
I like the Sheriff just having it there as that secondary. You're always going to see Sova's playing this B side, this wall thin as paper. You're going to see Sheriffs, Odin's, Ares just to go for that spam. So off of the orb being taken, some punishment in terms of the chip, and that can be meaningful when you're on a bit of this, you know, pistols plus 2 rifles. With Sushni and Kushner relatively chunked out, means that on Sushni that's just a 1-2 tap in a lot of situations. Kushner under the threshold for the Sheriff to be a one-shot heady, so. Oh, and now with the dash out, hold on. The positioning of Soulcast has not been given up. So if they were to work into them, that could have been brutal. Won't end up being the case, and the single rifle from TL not paying off now. It's just Soulcast with one. Trying to find the pinch around, and he gets it.
That's it. He's pushing real deep there as well on the acknowledgement. They've rotated away. The call came in, the tree was being pushed. And that's when they make the play. It's a backstab on one side, it's Nats on the other. And TL have pulled it off here. 3 left alive still and completely shut down. What was a big boom round for BBL?
Oh, it's a disaster for BBL. What is that? Playing right behind his cage. Nat's an absolute rat right there. Able to find 2 kills. And then as soon as they're rotating off of B, they must have been making noise because the push out from Soulcast just kills him in the back when they're trying to spam through mid. There you have it. They're running through mid because they worked so much time over towards the B site, and then literally 4 of those kills, maybe 5, but at least 4 were not, they weren't fights. It was BBL getting shot in the back of the head or shot through a smoke off the tripwire. Unfair.
But it was great from Liquid, who read the BBL have been pretty slow in the early round and not taking too much ground, and they just kind of slowly encircled them, took more of that space back, and that's what enabled that backstab to come through in such good time. Great play from Team Liquid overall. Now BBL, same spot once again as last round, where a little bit caught up on B main, but are looking to force through. Not being challenged this time round by 2 players.
It's tough though. The drone was used very early and broken with the forward positioning, so they have to be a little bit more diligent clearing things out. Dropping the ultimate now, and usually you'll see teams maybe try to get a player in backside, maybe even 2, but no, they're not going to end up going for that one.
I was about to say they've got to smoke it, and they've just smoked it out as well, which makes things a little bit easier for them. Straight towards Jail on the backside as the rest of the team flood in.
That's a huge kill onto Nats, trapped behind the smoke there. Now Team Liquid, what do? They've got 2 players CT, 2 players going for the long flank back around, and there's no Killjoy turret to actually watch that. By killing Aslan, that's opened up this round for the 2 players to come into B main. If they get there, Kushner's in a miserable spot. He has to call up his teammates to play with him. Those 2 players in main have the potential to punish him.
Oh, this won't Market. Then switch paranoid on towards Market. Managed to catch out the player, I thought for a second. Kushner still stands though. Looking to challenge and hold the bat for now, which leans out towards Spawn side. Things are looking a little bit rough. Soulcast finding one. A 3 versus 3.
2 coming down lane here. First kill goes over to Yampi, but the Odin spray down is gnarly. Sushni finds 3 on the round. It goes to BBL.
Absolute slaughter. Looked for a second like Liquid might have something coming off with the flank on the backstab there, but the read was there. Kushner was just ready. I don't think that paranoia actually connected onto him, so he was ready for the fight. And sadly BBL, or at least sadly for Liquid, BBL, they hold on.
Yeah, the fact that Kushner was able to get off of that door position and down into logs gave it a much better chance. Had a crossfire set up for a moment, even after he lost the teammate, still was able to find the one. Respect to BBL in that round. Dealing with the early push from Safe, shutting it down, Killjoy turret and drone spotting that one out, and then a clean side take with the Killjoy ultimate. Maybe things get a little bit more challenging when they don't have that online.
For sure. I really thought for a second when we first saw it coming out, we got down to like 1 second left and there was no smoke on towards Spawn. I thought, man, surely this is where the push comes through, that it's flood back in, look to hold you at long range, but nope. It did come out at the very last second, and really that's what opened things up for BBL.
The more rounds you can take away on the attacking side of here makes it a lot tougher for TL to run away with this, because it's on the defense, I think, where Jets truly get to have a lot of time of their lives whenever that operator comes online. We see it again now in this round, coming through for Safe. And a couple of times now he's tried to post up in B main. I mean, to his credit, BBL have been forcing into B main in a lot of these rounds, but he hasn't been able to find quite the value. Now looking for something down near bottom mid, but BBL just over and over are running with these B slams.
I don't think the Liquid fans have stopped. It doesn't matter the score or how the rounds are going.
Persistent, all right?
Yeah, very persistent. In the face of great difficulty. Maybe the timeout's going to have an impact on how the round plays out. But
this is
how has he got in under their nose like this?
Yeah, the camera's
on, but he's on the backside and he's got away with it as well. Safe not in a spot to be able to capitalize. Immediately double smoked out, steps his head through, gets Brave and re-disappears as Nats rounds his way up the stairs and gets one back too. Liquid have recovered for a bit of a surprise, stab in the back before they get away with this.
Red guard with a judge,
No
teleports
way.
back into heaven.
No.
Oh no! Turco shuts him down. Wasn't able to find a close range fight. Now Safe has the option to pop the knives to try and retake, but he's down to 65 health. May not be the case. Forces the swing with the fragment, so it's now a 2 versus 2. This round is winnable for TL.
Oh, the choice. Do they save the op? Do they go for the fights here? I think Safe is going to have to save. Yep. Far too valuable to not be holding on to at this point.
That was a wacky little round there because both teams had some pivots, right? First one from Team Liquid is they're switching Nats over onto the B site to have some trips that have the cam. Then you also have Kushner trying to contact his way out, sort of crouching his way underneath the door right there. But alas, there's a Cypher camera here spotting it out. So that didn't end up panning out. I think Team Liquid with the calculated sort of swings through the smokes or past the wall from Safe and Nats paid off for them big time. It turned into a 3-on-3. But once BBL have been entrenched on this B site, they have not really given much room for Team Liquid on the retakes. Even as good utility comes through from the fragment to flood your guy out of that position, it's been solid.
Dezachu so cheeky to get his way inside the site early on. I've been saying it all series long, but how cheeky he is to get into those positions and make life difficult for Liquid. It's happening round after round after round. They haven't really found an answer for him so far.
A little dance in the seat there. You'll love to see it.
Vibing out.
And this round theoretically comes all down to Safe, what he can accomplish with the operator. But I think this is one where Turco has access to the ultimate. They may just slam the ulti and burst into a site. Instead of challenging into mid where there's an option for a late swing or a swing through smoke, you just shut off the Jet's ability to dash and can make things much, much simpler for yourselves.
This is where historically we've seen more success out for Team Liquid. When BBL have started slow on towards B main, that's when things tend to work out for them. But
and it works off of those delayed pushes, right? 120 on the clock, not 140 that you're walking up there, but 120. You try to catch them with util in their hands or as they're rotating out multiple players.
But I can't help but look towards Ascent as well. He's got the turret watching mid. There's no more backstabs coming through. He's got A main control. Mid is under control. No one is getting shot in the back today on the BBL side.
Shock darts to clear any players playing close or tripwires, these sorts of things. Now Soulcast has a knife ready to go the second he hears Turco's ultimate coming online. They're actually just popping it early. 43 seconds on the clock. Sees so many players.
But no one moves on the A side. They still hold.
I thought he saw at least 3, but
are they confident they can force him to rotate away here? Definitely not. With that ult coming out, now they've got to get out of dodge. Dreadgar starts off on Zakusha, the kind of man you want to find, but the rest of BBL more than capable here as they flood their way in towards site. Jail in their possession, site in possession, and it's all down to the last 3 players on the side of Team Liquid to fight their way back in.
Just looking for some kind of opener, getting the tag. Yumpy has the ultimate, so if they find a pick with the operator, all of a sudden they can try to play this round out.
No.
Now, though, it has to be a save call from them. Yes, Yumpy grabs the up, 29 HP. He's going to get out of here, and with a little bit less time on the clock, perhaps BBL would force the issue, try to punish, and stop that op from being saved, but yeah.
Cheeky.
That's a look for, we'll look for what he can on the way out.
That's
but
it, yeah.
That's just a recovered rifle, so not much lost on it.
Exits that he can collect here are absolutely massive. You know, it's inside a boathouse. Oh, Aslan does have the read. And Yampy is well out of dodge. Not really able to get this up online yet, the side of Liquid, though.
They've had it. Hasn't done much.
That's the problem.
To be honest. The timing has just been B hit after B hit after B hit. Like, I don't know. I'd be getting frustrated if I was Team Liquid. Yeah, 2 of those have been anti-ecos, and Team Liquid haven't had much there, but BBL just aren't really fighting them around mid. Like, it's rare because I think BBL is a team that when they usually attack towards the B site, so much of that movement is through market. You know, the one round where Kushner was able to find the kill, blitzing on through that past the Cypher trip, but it's just been B slam after B slam after B slam, ignoring Safe or making sure, okay, if he is on B, he's going to fight us on that first angle, and we can clear him off that, but now it will be the pivot. Still not attempting to fight mid at all, just once again blitzing through A, and because Nats is playing on the site, if he were to get caught by a knife, that could be punishing with all of his util going off.
Ults galore available for Liquid here, and I think it's time to start rolling a couple of them out. Once again, BBL to start and slow. We haven't yet really seen this slow A hit through main yet.
Wow, look how Safe has stepped out of mid, though. You can see a lot of times Jets will play passively, but when they're given this space, just playing right behind the Killjoy turret, you're ready for that to be there. And trying to catch on the timing, it won't activate for him.
That's
now
all they
BBL
need.
go straight in.
That's it. You know there's no up here. You know you can charge on through. And yet again, Kushner deep on site. He's going straight into the back line and tearing Liquid asunder. Safe will find one. Out comes the Hunter's Fury. No one really being collected by it just yet.
Spike's still stuck back in main, so Kushner has to hold for this. Where are the smokes to block off Heaven? They're not quite there, although a dart will tag a couple, forcing them back off the angle. Aslan's good with the lurk into tree. And now they're just stuck up in Heaven with 3 players. How do you get out of this?
I don't think they know. I mean, Kushner stepped away, and I thought for a second he was untagged, unfazed, unseen. Yampi gets 2 back, makes it a 3 as well, down to a 1v1, but Sushni will not lose. BBL up 7-2. They are crushing Liquid here.
Their side hits have been gorgeous, and it's the passing from Kushner. Forget about the fragging ability for a second, but when there's a Cypher on the team, Kushner's updrafting, dashing over to the box. A player back in hell won't be able to fight him. He'll have a nice angle on someone back dice, seeing the tip of their head from on top of that box. And then working with this team to get that, taking a peek up towards Heaven, but falling off when it's the right time. Yes, Yampi keeps it close. A great fight up from there, but it's that entry and the pathing, the movement from him that opens up that round for BBL.
Now we get the knives out on the other side. I feel they might need some more than just knives to keep them in this game, though, as it feels this half at least. It's all coming up red for BBL.
Once again, safe playing over towards B main,
well.
but yeah, it'll be slightly delayed trying to play back behind the util. Aslan has the ultimates, they can go ahead and pump that one down and get into the site easy.
And the Jets are basically playing ballet around the map with each other as well. They just simply keep on missing each other. No matter where Kushner looks to push, Safe is always somewhere else. He's not around to challenge.
Although Safe will have potentially a very fast flank.
That's big.
Nat's find a kill is huge, and now the choice from Safe. Does he go tree or does he go around towards main? I think up in numbers going tree is the right call. That's what Safe is making now. He can also hold for the rotates later. But BBL are going to commit in now with the teleports.
In they go, playing off the back of the Killjoy, dumping everything in there. Shock darts galore, nades galore, everything coming on in. They found the one kill they need, but they find another. Not just yet. Soulcast into another one back. And now finally Safe arrives on the scene. He's got 2 to bring down here. Sprayed it through the smoke and not yet fallen. It's down to a 1 versus 1 yet again. Yampi to hold it on. Flicks onto Turco and Liquid make it 3.
A much needed round win there for Team Liquid. Yampi closing the deal at the very end. And beating out the Killjoy lockdown too. Huge wins on so many different levels for Team Liquid. It starts off with Nats in tree, finding the pick. Then Nats actually really liked the idea. Throws down his own Cypher Cage to have the wide swing after the Killjoy lockdown goes in. Doesn't end up resulting in much for him, but the idea is there, and Yampi, of course, at the end to finish it off.
I think it was finding Kushner so early on that really set Liquid up for success there. No disruptive Jet in the back line, trying to tear you apart, dropping smokes everywhere she goes.
Sushni just got blasted with the Odin down to 24 HP. Safe also testing around mid, and this might be our first look at in a long time, since like around 3-4. They actually tried to fight around mid just with a flash that whiffs, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. You take that any day of the week. Flank watch is turned off, but it doesn't matter for BBL because they can heat up into the split.
This is the first market push I think we've seen so far. Everything has been out towards A and B. It's been slow, it's been fast, it's been everything in between, but never directly up through market, which is exactly where they've gone. Now there are 2 players on site to contest. Not really the time to get the drone out, admittedly, as Soulcast finds one. Flash comes out over the top, but lane is where it's at. They were flashed up, but still find the kill on towards Yampi. Now Soulcast got to do all he can, and all that is nothing. Sushi brings him down, and site's lost. Redgar going to see what he can do here, but it's a 2 versus 3 for the last 2 players on Liquid.
Nats. Back boathouse has been smoked off for him. Looking for the spam on the ping of the spike plant, but Kushner, here's the reload, attempts to push on forward through it. Nats around the corner, finds the first one. The ring is good, gets the spam. Player very low, it all comes down to Nats finds one, but Sushni finishes it off. He was taken down to 24 HP with the spam at the start of the round. Gets 3 kills without losing a sliver.
Beautiful. The battle of the Odins between each other has been mega to see. It's kind of gone both ways so far. We've seen the defenders whittled down, we've seen the attackers whittled down. But Sushni still makes it work.
It looks like it got maybe a little bit sloppier, a poor read from Team Liquid in terms of how fast BBL were capable of heating up into that market split after they lost Safe. Because like you said, like the drone forward, they're trying to fight into it. The flash as well, hopping around the corner. Every single time they went for a peek, they were slightly getting beaten to it. Half a second and maybe they're just blitzing away at the round, and holy God, Yampi.
The pacing has just been so athletic so far from BBL. And at points, Liquid have really struggled to react.
No one cleared
Hides
that. No one cleared that.
Finds a freebie. Didn't see him on the drone as well, so gets away with a second. Yampy still standing 2.
Yeah, Brave TP'd back into Boathouse here, gets the first kill, and now Sushi recovering just a little bit.
Shock dart at point blank range.
How do you
a bit
get
of damage.
the spike out, though? The spike is trapped in B main with 2 players holding down.
Another.
The shock dart down to solo. 15.
One bullet. He can just spray on the softball, hope for his best. Looks away at the wrong time. Gonna get away with it though. Yampy's traded out by Brave straight away, but Nats is there ready. Liquid make it forward. Not gonna have another cursed 9-3 half ender.
But hold on again, because remember the last eco TL had 4 kills in the back of people's heads. There, I counted at least 2, maybe even a third. The first one through a smoke, then the drone doesn't quite clear close right, gets broken before it even has the chance to, and it all gets spun around. Just look at that.
No time lucky.
It turns into a rifle. Then even here, Brave caught in a reload. Tough escaping, even when it turns down into a 1 versus 1 at the end.
Whew. I mean, BBL have kept the fire up, I'll give them that. That attacking pace really did keep Liquid on the back foot for the vast majority of that half, and we commented on it a couple of times when it was the B main hits. That's where we saw the most success from Liquid on the defensive side. That is when BBL largely slowed down, didn't try and split their way in through market. We only saw the market hit once. Had far more success on the A side. But there is nothing wrong with coming out 8-4 at this point. Liquid going to be scratching their heads a little bit here. And coming up with a plan to turn this one around.
Yeah, BBL still trying to upset the guaranteed 3rd lock for Team Liquid off of a win here. And trying to send us into pandemonium next week. Tying up 4 teams between 3 and 6.
And we'd have to go through Bind first in the 3rd half, which would be great.
I mean, with how this is gone, definitely a chance for them as they move over onto the defensive side of things. I think all in all, this is the round I was talking about, where it's just shots in the back of the head. Just tough. Team Liquid playing around those those tight little angles. Nats ratting out in his own smoke. But all things considered, BBL, it wasn't like it was the same pace every single time. Sometimes they had the faster hits, even though it was largely just the full committals into sight. There was some variance in how they were actually working into it. The pathing, I think, so many times from the jet, from Kushner, allowed them to get into the sites for free. Brave teleporting in as well, sort of double diving past a lot of the stall utility that was being thrown out their way. Showed to be very effective, especially with the sort of entrenched players TL were leaving in hell and back behind Dice on the A site. So now as they work onto the defense themselves, the same challenge that we asked Safe is when the op gets online for Kushner, how can he punish Team Liquid, especially when they work through mid? How do Team Liquid flush them out with utility?
I love how during the analyst desk as well between Mats, who were looking at the top 5 ACS in the league so far. And well, these two were number 2 and number 3. Safe and Kushner are both right up there under, you can guess it, Durka, obviously.
Makes sense.
Yes. So you are looking at 2 of the, the best players that we've, pretty much all these players are amazing, but 2 of the best players that we have in the competition so far going head to head. I do feel, at least when it comes down to the playstyle, Kushner has been coming out on top there on the attacking side, but now the side swap, everything can change.
Oh, Kushner looking to get aggro right off the rip. A little dive bomb attack with the flash over top tiles. No one here, though. As soon as Nats hears that, he falls back into spawn. There can be a speed up into this A site. But very quickly, Kushner has abandoned that position, is here to fight out from the door.
Thought for a second he might find someone cheeky around the edge of that smoke. Not yet spraying the door. They've got to work their way up top.
There's a flank option for Sushni. Look at how far he's come around.
Yeah,
Nats is ready for it.
I mean, Nats wrote the book on this. He knows exactly what's coming. Gets baited in by that trap. Well, guess what's coming next? A big push in towards Heaven side. Gets 2 kills quickly for Team Liquid here. Yampy brings down Aslan as well. Coming down to 1 more and Safe while he cleans house. For all I said about him versus Kushner, big round for Safe.
All right, that's a really interesting round coming through from Team Liquid because it's really hard to flip the map on Ascent. By that, I mean, as the attackers, when you've taken the site, push in and take the enemy spawn. You're on the wrong side of the map, hence the flipping. But it's done because Nats gets the information off of the shark attack over towards tiles at the start, because that usually involves a B main push too. So a lot of players, 2, 3, maybe even 4 players leaning towards that side of the map. That means they can quickly accelerate into the A site and then try to push up into Heaven and catch the players on their rotate in. A bit of that too is because it's the pistol round and you can afford to get a little bit more frisky with it. But I like the idea and I like swinging off of the information in that protocol.
They know that Safe's in here and he could be in a bit of trouble. Obviously, who's going to match him? If not Kushner, then who? Went out aggressive as well. Wasn't scared about a potential swing coming in to help out Safe. And this time's round, Kushner comes out on top.
It's a nice idea with the flash as the smoke times out, but so easy to turn away from the KO flash. Aslan pushed on forward, but actually just loses the battle to a frenzy of all things.
It's a one hell of a shot.
Now Nats, because of the double cages he's thrown, there is concern from Brave. Did that guy just push into our spawn, wrap around behind onto tree? Oh no, Redgar getting a little bit too much done with the frenzy now.
Little do they know here that site is completely cleared out and they can push on through once again. Nats making sure they're safe in the backline. No ugly backstabs coming on through. I imagine you'll see him hover here off towards Wine. As there are two players coming up behind him. Once again, Sushi's coming up, but he is joined by Kushner. And they know.
Yeah, they're very well aware.
Nats is more than ready.
Yeah, there are options to try and updraft past something like that later in the round. People are playing far enough off. Hold on. One kill for Kushner, but quick. Actually, I thought he was going to retreat. Yampi wants to push in forward. No one would be expecting that.
Hit fire.
Just Ferrariing around the corner.
Which leaves poor Turco all by himself up in heaven. Didn't really capitalize off the movement of the last two players getting into a firefight there because we didn't need to see the defenders commit everything, or the attackers, sorry, commit everything to it. Liquid make it 2 in a row. It's a good start to the half.
Now, one thing BBL have done these 2 rounds has started this conditioning of, hey, Team Liquid, we're not afraid to flank you, necessarily. And part of that is, yeah, it's a bit of a throwaway on the pistol and then on the eco, of course. But that's something they're going to have to keep in mind. And I think that one weakness, perhaps, of the Cypher on this map, one potential weakness there is that you don't have perfect flank watch versus the Jet. Right? Like, Killjoy Turret is going to be able to catch the Jet basically every single time, whereas Kushner has options to updraft past that on the flank. So it requires Nats to play a little bit closer to his utility and make sure he's guarding that one.
I love that we have a third round of the half. Odin straight out the gate, just being like, rolling down. Surely going to be enough to force Team Liquid away from trying to push in towards B here. So instead, they're all holding a bit of a town hall inside of mid and maybe trying to eye up a push through mid.
That cage is really annoying because Kushner was trying to jump peek, and if he's, jumping consistently, there's no real threat of any player moving past that opening and into bench, but the second the smoke is there, that becomes a possibility for him. So actually fully giving up
safe
middle control is BBL.
Being watched by 2 players here. Not yet committed to a path. But here we go. Over comes the drone.
They didn't spawn him again!
They don't see Brave again. So he's still going to win it out regardless, though, and find the headshot onto that one. That puts a little bit of pressure inside a tree, forcing Turco back ever so slightly, but it is going to be this market hit.
Yeah, leaving Sushni sort of abandoned backside B, not the best situation in the world, especially if Aslan gets smoked off here from CT, which he does. It's Sushni versus the world here, but with the Odin, that's the best shot you're going to have from back here.
Take a swing out, finds himself one. Soulcast beamed. Safe the same. Oh my God.
He takes 3 before he falls down. That'll make the retake that much easier. 3 on 2, but now Nats has his own Odin from backside.
The trade and the Hunter's Fury coming out as well. Nats makes use of that swing out as well. Gets one. Kushner has been here a few times before. Yampi a little bit less so in these clutches. He's got to find his man, and Kushner wins it out. Of course he does. 9-3 for BBL.
Kushner has been on it this game. Oh my word, and
he's having a day.
That was not an easy spot to be in either. Yeah, they had the numbers coming into the play initially, but I love the spray down of the Odin to force the players back into the Sova ultimate. Sushni, just a beast from back here. This third kill especially. The swing slightly late.
He really set him up there for success, I think, as well. Putting it down to that 1 versus 1. And Cutie's not going to lose in those situations, as said. Bit of a kick of a Yampi because it felt like Liquid were really starting to do something there and build a little bit of joy. BBL slammed the door straight in their face. We could have been sat at 8 and 7, and that really sets it up. Great to see. Conclusion.
Yeah, great to see the fans in Istanbul supporting BBL out here, trying to start or really conclude the comeback on the second map.
It's been beamed down to nothing.
Just the Odin war of attrition now. Actually, Nat's taking the space up mid fairly quickly. There's an alarm bot to stop him from doing much off of this.
A bit hopeful there on the long tag, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But they at least know that he's sat inside a spawn. The updraft coming through as well. But TL exposing absolutely nothing.
This will turn into a very quick split here. They've got, I mean, they're really just waiting on Soulcast's knife, I believe, was used early in the round. So watch the bottom left corner of your screen when that gets back here. Smoke comes in, drone into B main, knife is back up. They can work past this trip with the cage to get them across, and they can split 2 ways down lane and down the stairs and pinch down into the 2 players on site.
Already used market more than we saw in the entirety of the first half here of Team Liquid. Sushi once again, though, dug in deep.
Oh, they're going
and
spawn!
Aslan,
They're flipping the map!
they're trying once again to force it, and they've done just that. They got 3 quick kills, and that was completely unexpected. Slaughter and BBL have now turned round, back on their heels and pushing towards site. They've got full control of things here.
That is wild. I think really good prep from Team Liquid. That could have just been inaudible, but I think this may be a more fundamental strat of theirs coming in and playing against BBL on defense. Because what, like BBL, they like to play entrenched over towards B. You saw that there, play a little softer in mid with just the alarm bot to watch it out. And you can see how Team Liquid, they can just ignore the site players completely, catch spawn off guard. And now that threat is always going to be there. It becomes so much harder for the players rotating. Now you can't rotate with a knife out, you gotta rotate with your gun out, right? If you're trying to throw your own utility back through the smoke, hey, someone could be there in that CT smoke. Oh, there's a lot of things gonna be weighing in the minds of BBL if Team Liquid haven't already shown multiple players on the site.
Even the Cypher all coming out for good measure.
Oh, he got the tag on that too, that's okay.
Nice, nice.
All right, Nats, we get it. You like Cypher.
Don't care about Safe Executioner. It's all about me. 20 kills he steps up to now. Really having a riot so far on the Cypher.
Respectable. Was they trying to catch the turret with the right click there? Better accuracy with the right click when you're up in the stratosphere than with the left. Similar gamble walkout that we saw to Safe. This is not an uncommon play. You usually see it on your jet, because then you can leave, but Aslan's the one with the money. Okay.
Easy.
I mean, removing Nats, who's been having a game, fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Certainly no complaints on that side.
Problem is, not much util to stall here, unless, and Aslan didn't actually even buy into it. He's getting kills through the smoke, though, hold on.
Maybe into a third as well, looking for it. But in comes Team Liquid. The floodgates are open, the exorcism begins. Sight for now is clear, but in comes QD. Knives out, charging right the way through. Sees one on log, swings for the next and can't quite find his man. But he's got the right idea. Oh no. Misses every single knife.
And now he's out of them. Brave's the only one with a rifle for the time being. Kushner's gonna go pick one up. That'll be the Guardian. 3-on-2 now.
It'll do.
Soulcast solo HP. Redgar sort of left out to dry here from behind. They're gonna try and double swing into Kushner. A great call from Team Liquid.
It's a fantastic read. 2 more dropping down from lane here as well. The TP in towards backside here as well, as they tap on towards the diffuser right in front of his face. Soulcast into one, but Brave goes massive. BBL move up to 10 to double digits. Can you smell behind you, Ender?
I do it stanky, man. Aslan starts it off getting wicked with the Guardian, walked up in mid, then gets, I think, just a spam kill through smoke. No, he sees the players coming around the corner, tracks it well enough, and then, hold on, because it gets real dodgy, losing the knives. It turns into a 2-on-2, 2-on-1 even, but then Brave, the tracking, that is not an easy fight to take, completely exposed. He has to instantly win those 2 fights. Yes, they're given 1 by 1, but not a simple situation to be put in. That brings BBL up to 10.
Well, dang. So many ults coming online, though, for the side of Liquid. There are 3 currently waiting for BBL. This will be a very heavy couple of rounds, I imagine.
It's the retake Kingdom ults.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with Kushner finding the opener onto Nats. I mean, destroying the mid player. After they weren't showing players in mid, multiple rounds in a row. I'm struggling to words here. Aslan has the walk up. Kushner has that there. Nats not having fun.
That Killjoy I'm keeping a close eye on. Now Liquid pushed the wrong way here. They're going straight into a Killjoy.
Here's the thing, right? The alarm bot in mid was broken, so now the lurk potential still going to be there. That might slow down Kushner's rotation to A. Nah, he says they're not going for it. Here we go. Working up into tree, trying to take Heaven as well. Yumpy finds the first one. End up in Heaven. Safe takes down another. 2 players still stuck here on site. It's Turco versus the world. He's found the first, takes down the second, and the third.
No! Surely not. No, Safe finds one. Sushni left standing.
The ultimate! What a call from Sushni!
Unbelievable.
He knows the location. Safe dashed over to try and pick up the res before a player could get there in time. He knew he had the timing, but not with the ultimate on the opposite side. The Hunter's Fury takes him and Soulcast down. The res did not come through. And it starts off with Turco's defense here. Ridiculous. All of these kills.
I mean, that is twice now that this has happened.
Unreal.
That we've had a member on the side of BBL. It was Sushi earlier on from jail with the Odin at 3K, which boiled things down to a 1 versus 1 after they fell, and BBL won both. That's the kind of dime that this game spins on right now, and Liquid know it. This could be a 9-9 game, but instead it's BBL out in front, and Liquid have got 2 rounds to recover.
There have been some wacky rounds this game.
It's been great.
From the ecos to the round 2 force in the first half, BBL are putting on a performance here against Team Liquid. On a map that TL looked good on with a sub versus Na'Vi, second best team in the league. And they are up 11-7. The map that the analysts have said, hey, Team Liquid, you gotta be trolling to leave it up. I don't care if you're comfortable, I don't care if you're confident on it. BBL, this is their home. This is where they win their maps.
Made in Turkey. All right. Let's see if that timeout does anything. We've seen some relatively uninspiring post-timeout rounds. Not really having too much of an impact so far. BBL has still got that Killjoy to play behind, let's not forget as well. I mentioned it in the previous round that if we did see an A hit coming in, it might get pulled out, but no, it was kept in back pocket, and now they've got that to play with alongside the KO ult.
Yeah, the thing is, Yampi does have the Hunter's Fury, so likely that ends up turning into a tradable unless Turco can stop Yampi from being able to cast that with his own ultimate. Shutting that one down. Kushner over and up and out. And the spam on the safe. Okay.
I see you. I see
Pop
you.
off, King.
Do you think? Got tagged out by the cam as well. That's once again just hoping that no one tries to push in through B main. He's got the right idea, which means really for now at least mid is safe. Red Guard watching out towards A main, 3 of them trying to work their way up through mid.
Yeah, I think he was trying to show some potential lurk threat. If he could get past that opening, it makes it much harder to actually just hold the B main angle. But he had to run away from that Odin, and that loses them everything. Now play up mid, counter ult from Turco, popped very early, so now that's not a concern for T on the retake, and it's only 2 players that committed to that area. The paranoia comes into Tree to allow them to get in here. Safe previously has pushed up towards Heaven, this time not going to be the case, but they're kind of stuck behind this one way, and the double swarms. The swarms come out fairly early, the clock ticking.
And they missed a cross here as well. Maybe they did, but oh my god, it's a shooting range for BBL as they completely clean house.
Huge.
Without barely having to break a sweat. 1 round away from sending us through to bind.
3 players there ready to go on site. TL, a lot of times you see a Killjoy ult on the opposite side, you assume they're going to be playing retake on the A site and you get in there a little bit simpler. No, that was not the case this time around. Players come funneling in, you can see Safe trying to go up and over some of the Killjoy swarms on the ground, but Team Liquid, because they spent so much time working mid, Nats trying to play some presence over towards B, then them faking in. Yeah, they pulled out that KO ultimate, but the clock was against them going into the Killjoy util, now trying to switch up the pace and blitz into A.
This hard force is available. Aslan is on site, ready and waiting. Here they go, trying to step in. Updraft coming over as well. There's 1 more drops down. There goes Aslan, ult offline. And there's 4 ults, well 3 now currently still active, to play for on the side of Liquid. Pop them now, whatever, boys. Use them or lose them. 2 have already fallen down, making a 3rd. Liquid absolutely budging on their way in towards sight. It's a Gooper stomp to close out as well. BBL crushing Liquid here on Ascent.
They just took everything at the end there. I mean, BBL, wow, masters of Ascent, will send us to Bind to close things out. And the play there, while everyone on Liquid was distracted with the sole player on site, the rotates came in so quickly. There were 2 players swinging out from Heaven. Turco and Kushner just taking names, while Team Liquid were looking at the ground.
Didn't have time to bring out any of the ults that saved. They did 4 on side going into the round, but used 1. Knives is all that came out. Absolute slaughter. Beautiful game. I'm really excited for Bind. I know you guys are saying the last couple of weeks. I wasn't here last week or the week before.
Well, also,
now
there's so little footage on Bind just yet that you can't even make a full read.
There's such a freshness to it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even though you'd say like these teams, obviously players have played in the past, but so many switches and so much excitement to try and see if whether or not Team Liquid can lock 3rd or if we're gonna have the 4-4 tie all across the board.
The series really deserved it, I think, knowing what's on the line. I can't wait to see how it goes down. Let's go to a break. When we come back to the desk, and then Bind awaits. See you soon.
Baba fare gidiyor, dans ediyorum.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Zero distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Usually when I see a target, I won't miss. I try to find weaknesses wherever they are and just game by game try to pick up on anything I can. So this training course is a way for me to really showcase and demonstrate all the questions you guys have been asking, how to get better aim, and it really enables me to answer a lot more and kind of expand on the first video I made like so long ago about VALORANT fundamentals.